We are joined by Jolie Fisher. She was elected SAG-AFTRA Secretary Treasurer in 2021 and re-elected in 2023, where she continues her mother, Connie Stevens' legacy as both a performer and union leader. She has played a key role in securing SAG-AFTRA's future headquarters and helps to shape policies that impact nearly 160,000 members. She was born into a showbiz family and gained fame for her Golden Globe nominated roles as Paige Clark on Ellen, and has also had starring roles in Normal, Ohio, Wild Card, Desperate Housewives, and many, many more. In recent years, she has been expanding into directing, helming short films and music videos, and socially conscious PSA campaigns, with her feature directorial debut, Oliver Storm, on the horizon.
Hey everybody, Jolie Fisher here, actor, mother of five, um, National Secretary Treasurer of SAG-AFTRA, Chair of Government Affairs and Public Policy, human being, butcher, baker, candlestick maker, and friend to all of you. It has been a challenging time in this industry for the past, I don't know, maybe 5, 6 years. Well, it's always challenging. What we do is try to challenge ourselves anyway, right? So, we lived through this crazy global health crisis. We lived through the strikes that I took very, very personally and fought very hard in the negotiations on behalf of 160,000 members to get better compensation, safety on sets. We fought for intimacy coordinators to be a mandatory position on films and television sets, and safety in the workplace, and really good gold star healthcare, and of course a pension when you retire. All those things we did accomplish some great gains in a lot of those areas, but we got to go back in again in 2026. So what I'm here today to talk about, and I'm already preaching to the choir, right? You're there. I want to talk about the California Labor Laboratory. Ta-da! It's dedicated to understanding the impact on California's workers of the growth of non-traditional forms of employment, such as gig work and jobs that only last until a project is done, which is most of our work. And it should come as no surprise to you that we in the entertainment industry face many of the issues about work that the California Labor Lab is studying. So after all, we always have done gigs and work only until a project is done. And the origin, this I had to read for myself. The origin of the term gig comes from short-term jobs in music. So, when you used to gig out with your band. And many of our industry work is 2 or more jobs. And many in our industry work 2 or more jobs, sometimes many, many more than that. You know who I'm talking to. You know who you are. I have a side hustle. There's a lot of truth to the cliche that many waiters in LA are actors making ends meet. And now we're doing other things. We're driving Ubers and making coffee. In the strike that I told you about that took place a little more than a year ago, every issue that the lab is studying was central to our action: the fight to preserve residuals, protections from wage theft, the fight to ensure that writers and actors and those behind the camera were given sufficient work and pay to keep themselves above water, and the resistance to the existential thing that is artificial intelligence, or AI. It threatens everyone in the arts. It's threatening to the planet. Also can be harnessed and used for good, so we can't forget that. I feel very, very responsible for, in the 11th hour, I'll tell you, it was about 11:07 p.m., running down to the parking lot to jump on Zoom calls to jujitsu back channel with some movie stars and some studio heads to make sure that we didn't close a deal that didn't have language and generative AI, and we managed to get that in there. And also, we are fighting to help lawmakers pass legislation that will enshrine into law what we fought for and earned in our contract dispute and ratification. Today, the first day of the lab's annual conference is about what it's like to work in the arts. It is the bread The bread in bread and roses. It's the bread in bread and roses. I just can read a little bit better. You'll hear both about how to reach the reach of the so-called creative economy in our state, but also some startling data about how many in the arts struggle financially even after working several jobs, multiple jobs. Then we'll hear about how the rise of entertainment conglomerates affect what we see and how productions happen and what it's like to work as musicians and actors in the theater and on and off screen. And the day will close with a panel of members of SAG-AFTRA, Writers Guild West, and IATSE and the Craft Union, who will they'll discuss the issues face to face. Well, would like to be a fly on that wall. Tomorrow, the conference turns its attention to what the arts say about work. When the roses after the bread for those in the arts is taken care of. So we'll hear from those observing how TV and movies and music and comedy treat contemporary work. This sounds very exciting. We love what we do. We're artists, we're storytellers, but we also do have to talk about the business of being in this business. The entertainment industry has always tracked what work is about, from Charlie Chaplin's Modern Times take on industrial production to Norma Rae's attempt to organize those in the textile mills, through The Office, politics of 9 to 5 and Mad Men, and the depiction of the alienation in the post-industrial firm of Office Space. Tomorrow, we'll have time to view some clips from the arts that show the portrayal of that work. The vivid portraits of work in the movies, TV, or theater have become rallying cries for workers, not the least of whom are those who themselves work in the arts and who, as you'll see today, face many of the same issues as all the others trying to make ends meet. Bread and roses indeed. I'm so happy that you've decided to subject yourself to, no, we have to do it. We're compelled to. We love what we do, and learning about it and learning about the intricate inner workings of how a union is run and how the production is run and how we sort of crowbar our stories into little nuggets, little pieces, little shorts, social media posts. Now that's the big, we're going to shorter format, but let's take a deep dive the next couple of days into the business and the art. All right. Bread and roses indeed. Jolie Fisher signing off.